Hey guys, it's Avenger, welcome back to the channel, and we're back in the bush today for another flight. Now, this is one I took a long time ago, as we see a lot of grass and a Taildragger 172, because, hell yeah baby, 210 horses under the hood, this thing should do exactly what we need. Now, we're flying out of Stewart, BC today. Where are we going? I don't know, I don't actually know what it's called. I need to do some research on it, but we're flying to a logging camp, or a mining camp I should say, out in just inside of the interior here of BC, and this is somewhere I've been a long time ago during one of my flights with Return to the Wild. Well, today we're going back. I've never been here in FS 2020 and I want to try and take you with me to remember what it's like. So let's get ourselves started up, shall we? Battery on, beacon on. Make sure fuel is good. Trim is set to accept flight sim recognizing it exists. Okay, let's see what our fuel is looking like. We are set to normal. No. I never remember which one it wants me to put it to because this is very strange. Should be up to there. So, there we go. Okay, we don't need alternate statics, so with a bit of boost pump on. Okay, and come on. Or is flight sim going to be weird about this one and tell me it needs to be in just the right tank? No. Fuel cock. Idiot as usual. Okay. Alright, looking good. So, let's put that back here. Knock on our systems. Nav lights. Now we want 122.8 for local multicom frequency on here, so dial that in. There we go. Com frequency set. Okay. So, off we go. Stewart traffic, November 403 Sierra X-ray, taxiing for departure. Gonna be runway 36. Don't hear anything about, so we'll get ourselves out here. Now, I gotta say, I love this one. It's another one of those freeware aircraft. It's just an absolute stunner. Takes a standard 172 and made it into something very interesting. As I tried taxi in third person, which is an experience, let me tell you. Especially when your camera's to the side of the aircraft you're actually taxiing. Let's go back in the cockpit where I can actually see what's going on. But we'll get ourselves taxied down here. We'll turn around. We'll head back now. The only way I know to navigate to this place is literally valley flying to valley fly to valley fly. I just turn right at the second junction sort of deal. Nothing is listed about this place on Google Maps as to what it is. I need to do some research one day and find out, but I know it was there in Orbx's version of BC for the Pacific Northwest. But I want to know if it's here in 2020. Now, theoretically, the place should exist. It's on satellite imagery, so we'll see what we can find out. Stewart traffic, 03 Sierra X-ray, departing 36. Okay, let's get ourselves rolling here. There we go, and we're off. This thing is so nimble with 210 horsepower behind it. There we go. As we climb up over beautiful Stewart, British Columbia, a sleepy little town out here at the end of a fjord. In fact, as we're climbing out, I can pop us outside a second. Look at this little place. That is gorgeous. Little forested town. Just here at the end of a fjord. That must be gorgeous to live in. Of course, everything has to fly in and out, but that is stunning. As we end up in a really weird attitude. So, we're going to fly down here, and my iPad's about to die in terms of battery, so Garmin Pilot may not help us for much longer. But I know the way, as far as I'm aware. So we head up here. Is the second right we need to take. Not the first valley, but the second one. It's a Y-shaped fork. In fact, I believe that's the fork up there. Should be in the turning here. Then you've got that and that one over there. But there's another fork just coming up. We don't want that. We are looking for the one just after it. So let's get ourselves trimmed out here for flying. We're not too high above sea level. So we're not going to go much higher altitude-wise than this. We don't need to. Should take us out the way we want to go. Now, I would love to look this up during the video, but I haven't really been able to find anything, so if anybody knows what this place is, please let me know. I've noticed some local BC residents who watch some of my videos, and I would love to know if you guys know what this place is. It has a strip, so it needs to be accessible, obviously. So I think it's a mining camp. Would make most sense. There's no real tree coverage out there, so wouldn't make sense for logging. And with a strip in and out of it, it seems like mining, but you never know. So we're flying up the river here from Stewart, and the improved water masks is really, really good actually at the moment. Look at that. They've been doing a lot of work with these. Let's try and get back in the outside camera without looking so daft. But look at that river. That is gorgeous. This simulator continues to blow my mind every single day. That just looks gorgeous. Man, they've really done some good work to this area. So there's a bridge over a roadway with a bridge over the river here, just ahead of us. This is not where we're turning. The bridge should be just down that side there. So we carry on here. There's a fork there, and we're taking that side. That takes us through a narrow valley, which we'll need to be careful about. And pops us out at a large lake, and the bottom of the lake is roughly where we're heading to. So, as once again my trim is being a little bit crazy, please slow down for me. We'll knock down to cruise power here. We don't need to go much faster than this. Okay, let's balance out our attitude with trim. It's a bit gusty right now. I'm catching some lift, I think, is why I'm climbing so often. These valleys will do that to you. But as we head past here, we should see down below us. Well, there's the road. And the bridge should be about there. Yes, it is. There's a little bridge down there. Right where my mouse is. Huh. So I've never seen this look like this before. And oh God, Microsoft, really? What's that? Did you have a stroke whilst doing this part of BC? That looks like a Picasso. We're going to look to this side of the valley for a while, because it looks much nicer, and I don't want to see that. Oh God, my eyes. No thank you. Okay, so probably best turn the transponder on. I get so lazy about these things in the simulator because it's one of those things that doesn't largely matter as much. Oh my God, really? Stop taking that. Thank you. It's one of those things that I don't really do as often because flying out in the bush, I'm never really setting it. There's no one tracking me. I'm not actually on radar. And I don't fly VATSIM because there's barely any controllers up in the areas I fly in. Well, what actual contact with me would they have in reality other than, well, they can see me on a screen? Because you don't call out to them. Most of the places I fly in and out of are uncontrolled, so it's just traffic for me. As we get a nice shade of why satellite imagery can be sometimes very bad, that is it. So what I thought would be a really gorgeous little trip is turning into be a little bit more potato. But I'm guessing there's a less likelihood that we've got slightly lower quality satellite imagery the further we head inland here to more unpopulated areas, but you never know. The footage I found on Google Earth seemed pretty high res, so we'll have to see. Although there are some seams of passes going on there. Google and BIM maps are different. So we're heading down this valley over here. Should be a fairly simple prospect of just swinging ourselves in. Winds are pretty calm today, so we're not having to worry too much about how it's going to affect us. But I'm going to be roughly sticking to the centre of the valleys just for good practice. Don't want to get jostled around, and this gives me the maximum air clearance over terrain that I'm going to get. Now this, last time I recall seeing it, looked very different in the Orbx scenery area. Dial back our power a little bit. I will say the 210 horses in a Cessna 172, especially a Taildragger, makes for a very slippery aeroplane. So we're hitting 140, 150 knots, really relatively easy here as we just descend down into this valley. Definitely makes our life a lot easier. Man, I hope this would look a lot nicer, but it's kind of potatoey over there with the trees on black photo imagery. I do hope eventually developers start putting out packs for some of these areas where they have much higher quality texture or better photo imagery, you know, rather than catching an entire side of a mountain in shadow like that. I'm pretty sure it never looks like that in real life, but hey, some of these parts look rather nifty, but that's about it. Wonder what the river looks like down below us as we fly over what is clearly a neglected area. But there is a road, some bridges, and the river down below that we're actually following here. So should be relatively simple to track this. Let's manage engine power as we're coming through the valley. Picking up a little bit of a headwind actually in this one, so we should be just fine. Should be kicking out just past this. Oh. Little hut on the mountainside. There you go. Not sure if that's there in real life, but, well, Microsoft decided it is. Yeah, it must have been a lee shadow that day for the satellite imagery. You're getting some details as we come out here more, but it's not looking phenomenal. This is the one thing I've never liked about satellite imagery overall, is it can get some really weird looks to things. And without it being color corrected or fixed up or replaced for whole worlds, it can just do this, and where there's someone's like, no one's gonna fly there, who'd care? And they leave it standard and it looks like ass. So there is that. We're getting definitely picked up and bumped around in here a little bit, catching gusts occasionally. You'll see the vertical speed indicator there fluttering actually as we're coming through here. So we're coming to a lake up here, which is just inside the valley still. We're not actually coming to the main lake, but this small lake here is within the valley. This is one I remember from the last time I came through here, so not too bad. Let's go Gadget Google Earth and see exactly where we are. We're heading to, the lake is called Mezidin Lake, near Mezidin Junction. That's M-E-Z-I-A-D-I-N. And judging by the quality of the photo or the satellite imagery in Google Earth in this actual valley, yeah, it does look that bad. Now, this is Mount Stron up there that we're flying past. And Entrance Peak, which is this one just past it. Excuse me, thank you, could you do that? So things definitely looking a lot better over here. As we fly out of the valley now into what is apparently oh wow, glacier there. Much better covered, scenery-wise. A heavily used logging road down there. Oh, this looks much, much nicer. Oh, yes. Okay, so, oh, hello. So, yeah, looking at Google Maps beside me, we're heading down past Mezidin Junction. Or Mezidin Junction, I'm mispronouncing it, I guarantee. And we're heading down towards where the camp is, which should be on the southern shore. Just off the river. Comes away from that section of the lake, heads down, and there's a section where a road crosses it, so we need to look out for that. And there's a small town or a section of cabins on the kind of lee side. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. So this is the lake coming up Mezidin that we were looking for. So we're going to fly down the south kind of eastern shore, which should take us towards the river we're looking for. And that'll put us out by the camp. Never been out here before. The only way I found this was pure luck. I remember it literally being a random chance encounter. I was just flying in the mountains and I came across this location and it seemed so cool. I had to go check it out. And I flew out there again, found my way back and forth, and I remember doing it in one of my Return to the Wild flights for a resupply or medical mission out to the camp strip. Long time ago now, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But it was really fun. But I'd never been back out this way in 2020, and I really wanted to try. Some of this photo scenery does look stunning, I will give it that. Like, it looks okay in places, it looks terrible in others, but there are times where you just look down and you see a gorgeous world laid out before you, and it blows your mind. Look at the shadow patch ahead of us, which is going to look disgusting, but you see some of this, and you see parts of the world that are just beautiful. Look at that. Scree slopes. The erosion happening. It is gorgeous. Okay, so this is Mezidin Lake. So we're heading across here, and that's going to be our river out the far side. Kind of cuts out at the left rear corner. So once we head down here, we'll head over Mezzanine Junction, which is going to be up on this side about here. And we'll find our destination. This is some of the kind of flying I really love the most. It's so wild and adventurous, and I'm pretty sure I may not come back here again knowing how bad some of the photo scenery does look in this area. Very sad. But I'm very happy they've done a lot of updating on the water masks, because it really has improved the look of things, even down there. Look at that, seeing the sandbars and the growth in the river and the bottom of the river, which you would see from this sort of altitude. It just looks so much nicer. Now, I knew we were going to probably hit a bar of bad stuff here based on Google Maps. And I'm pretty sure this is still recorded from the winter, because that looks like snow. So I'm pretty sure this pass was done during the winter of satellite imagery. So I guess this is what this area can look like if it was kind of sepia yellow. Yeah, that's the downside, guys. When you do passes in the winter for some places and you get a strip of white texture, which looks so weird. Okay, so I'm just checking out the shoreline here, because I believe there's 3 rivers that put into the lake here, and 1 that comes out. 2 that come in, 1 that come out. So we need to be aware of where that's going to be to make sure we pick the right river. Now, there's going to be like a hook fork section, which I believe that's now going to be exactly what we're looking for. That one wasn't it, but that is, because we have that hook section of the river. A wider mouth, which leads into the river running down. So that reminds me of exactly where I need to go. Now, when we get to there, we'll see like a holiday camp area to the right-hand side, and our camp should be on the left. So we'll start descending down here a little bit now, because we don't need to be this high up. We want to be a lot closer to the ground. I think that's going to be Mezzanine Junction down there. Small little place. But it does the job, right? Yeah, that's exactly going to be our river. And looks like scenery quality is actually really picked up over here, so that's good, apart from the seam of winter over there, which just looks so weird. Winter to summer right next to each other. God. That is so bizarre. And I'm pretty positive Microsoft has just taken generic various area textures and filled some spots in where things didn't look right. Or there's missing trees for some unknown reason. Who even knows with this sim? But this lake is so blue. Look at how clear it is. Certain types of sediment and rock will lead to water being that colour. So we've got a town over there, or a small section. That might actually be Mezzanine Junction. That makes more sense. Looks bigger. And definitely looks more like a junction, in fact, because you've got the road that leads down this way. So that would make total sense. In fact, yeah, it's at the fork in the road, so that would be Mezzanine Junction. One road will lead down here and through there. So this is our location we're looking for. Now, if everything's right, the camp should realistically be over there somewhere. I doubt that coloured part there is it, but hey, we never know. Okay, I'm going to descend us down a little bit more here. Keep indicating about 120 knots. And we should come across the holiday camp section on the left. On the right hand side of the aircraft, I apologise. And the camp on the right. Left. Left. I do know directions. It's not a strong suit, but it is there. Gorgeous lake out here, Mezzanine Lake. Definitely something I need to look up, actually, and find out more about. And do some more extensive research. Okay, so coming to the river junction now. Drop ourselves down a little bit further. Keep about 500 feet per minute descent rate. Just let the aircraft bring us down gently. And we should have that camp. I think either there, maybe? That could be where we're looking. I'm seeing a clearing by the river there, which would be indicative of what we're looking for. Because, yeah, the river meanders around here, which puts that on this bank, so that could be right. We'll just swing over here a little bit, so we'll pass by it on the side. Lots of forest below us, not a lot of anything else but trees, so end of the day it could actually be logging. I didn't think about that, but definitely a lot of tree coverage around here. I love the amount of tree coverage we actually do get in 2020. The autogen feels so much more realistic because it's just so dense. Adds another dimension to the whole simulator. Really makes things feel a lot more lived in and real than lots of patches of just trees textured on the ground. Okay, so river. Not seeing this camp. Although I could be wrong in where I'm looking for it. The holiday camp area. But I'm going to maintain my current heading, which should take us to exactly where we have to be. Actually, this could be that below me now. That would make total sense. Let's look down, shall we? That does not look like what I should be seeing. But it could be. May have been destroyed since I last saw it, or what used to be there is no longer there, because the areas here do look reminiscent. But that looks to be the camp I'm looking for. And I see buildings. Man, is this actually real? Did they actually put this in? Because this, of course, you can't get here in the simulator other than flying to it. There is no starting location for it. Oh my god, there are buildings. And that looks to be a runway. Holy heck, is it actually in here? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it actually is. The camp is here. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's our runway. Now, not looking fantastic in terms of the scenery parts around it, but it is there. Oh my god, it's actually there. Oh my god, the camp is here. Now, there's not a lot of trees down in the area, so I mean, it could be mining, it could be logging. I'm not sure, but it is actually there. And there's the runway, see? Yeah, that's our runway. And the camp is there. We'll have to go and explore when we get down to the ground. Oh my god, that is so cool. Right. Let's get ourselves around here, and we'll turn around and put her in. River down below us, actually looks really nice down there, actually. Big crest I remember being there is there. Okay. Let's bring her around, shall we? Kill some speed in the process with a nice steep bank in. Put a notch of flaps down. We don't need anything more than that. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, we are looking steep AF, boys and girls. And that river looks gorgeous, actually, from this angle. I remember this being uphill this direction, so we want to come in this side. I am way too fast for this approach. We'll have to go around and come back in again. So I'll just kill the slip I was doing there. But this gives us an ample opportunity to look at the actual state of this thing. Here's the little camp. My god. It is actually there. State, looks appropriate for the aircraft we're in. We have tundra tyres and we're a Taildragger, so we should be able to put down on that dirt surface pretty well. Looks nice and compact enough, like it always is in a simulator because it's always perfectly compact, but it looks hard-packed dirt. It looks smooth enough for us, so we should be good. So we'll keep our altitude down a bit. I think climbing up over that rise actually hurt us. It's been a while since we've actually made an approach into here. Maybe a year and a half, actually. Okay, so we'll have to come around behind the rise, drop down and turn around. Should make life easier. Yeah, there's our approach there, so... yeah, we'll come over this, turn around, drop down along the river and follow it in. Should do us just right. Oh, on the glass shield here. Alright. Everything looking good for our approach. Runway is there. Now I'll have to descend here pretty steeply, so let's put this baby in a bit of a side slip and drop ourselves down whilst we turn. It's going to snap me around as well in the turn, which should help us in this case. Side-slipping helps me lose speed without gaining altitude, which is a really useful technique sometimes. There we go, and that helps snap us around into the start of our turn. There we go. Sound of the river down below us. And we're on course now, and a much better altitude for this. We've got steep trees in the foreground. There's also what appears to be traffic buzzing back and forth next to a building there. So we'll have to be careful with that. Good job we're not using it as a road. That could be really awkward. But we're coming over these trees, so we have to watch our clearance there. Okay, on approach now. Drop our speed down to about 70 knots. There we go. Maintain this approach angle. Lots of runway to use. Coming over these trees here. I'm going to pull up and kill some speed when we make our approach. I love the traffic mapping sometimes in this game. There we go. Preparing to pull my flaps up to actually kill my airspeed. There we go. We floated a heck of a long way actually on this one. And we're down. Hard brakes, flaps up. Release brakes so we don't tip over. And we are good. And we are down at the camp. So we'll back taxi down here, which is where we'll want to basically park up at this end. We have the access road across. And we'll take a look at this camp. I know it's probably just generic buildings, but they look really specific for some reason. Like, they don't look like generic buildings in this game. They actually look like they're meant to be here. Whatever this is, I don't know, but I know there was the site of the crash of one of the only losses of a nuclear weapon in history, a B-36 Peacemaker, over that way, actually. Somewhere over there. Went down here. The crew bailed out over the sound, and it ended up over here after the plane flew on its own. So, we'll taxi down to the building down here at the bottom. I'm pretty sure nobody in Flight Sim was expected to ever actually come here. Never mind land, but oh man, this looks like it's meant to be. The grass is here, the runway's clear. This genuinely feels like it's meant to be something. Maybe it's an Easter egg of some kind. I mean, they wouldn't have the traffic there if that was the case, so maybe they'd have some sort of features of airport stuff, but the traffic looks so stupid at times. Okay. Okay, parking brake is on. We'll leave the engine running for now. Actually, you know what? No, we'll cut it. And the simulator's going to tell me it wants to basically bail out of it now in a second. No, it's not, because battery's still on. We'll leave it on. So this is the little building we've got here. Across what apparently thinks is a road, because it's given it a road kind of pathway, I guess the simulator uses. Which is a shame, but we've got our lovely little dirt strip there. We used way too much of this, but those trees are monumentally huge. So what's this? Just a little random house. But it still kind of looks cool. Maybe a bit too brick to be out here, but oh my god. Not even traffic on the main road. Just this section here is just traffic, 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 traffic. So what's all this? Little wood slat houses. I'm guessing it has just picked generic single-story buildings that it had in the simulator to go here, but seeing this out here looks so cool. Like, I know this is probably not what it looks like, but that is so cool. Like, knowing that at least something's out here, out in the middle of nowhere, where there is literally no airport identifier, there's no way to start flying out here. Let's actually go up and see if we can see anything on the satellite imagery actually that we're looking down at. So there's some vehicles down there, but there actually are buildings in these locations where stuff has been placed. As you can see there is actually meant to be stuff there, and there's bits and pieces of junk or vehicles and things. You've got this cleared area over here, which may have been logging, I'm not sure, but there appears to be machinery there. I don't know what this is, but I've got to find out. Camp trails heading off that way into the forest. Maybe it is a logging camp. Maybe they were up the slope doing logging work, and this was their base camp area where the workers stayed. Or it was for mining, I'm not sure, but I don't see any signs of mining, so probably logging. But ever since I found this runway in FSX in the Orbx area, I've just loved it. It's always been such a cool thing. Yeah, I found it so exciting to have this little place out here that the only way you could get here in the sim was by actually doing it. It made it feel more like I was actually bush flying, because the only way I could get to fly out of and into this runway was to go to it. The same way they would in real life. And it's dirt, it's sloped, it's gnarly. Those trees are actually kind of insane, and that's the one thing that really kind of bothers me a little bit about the sim sometimes, is that you can have some pretty extreme angles of approach with some of the crazy heights of trees, because those things are more than 100 feet high. As this ridiculous road section here looks just like, that amuses me so much. Thank you, Asobo, for making a hilarious simulator at times. It just amuses me no end. Because this whole area would be so peaceful if it wasn't for Carageddon. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little one today. It's nothing crazy, but this is some place I wanted to bring you guys to. Maybe my little secret spot that I wanted to share with you. And I guess this is a place I've flown so many times that has been mine, you know? Like, I knew about it, it was mine. And I really found it so cool. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And join me for more bush flying adventures, more GA adventures, more reviews, and everything else you like. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe if you're not for more. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.